this weekend we are going to be at the luxurious Taboo Resort in beautiful Muskoka. We're going to experience a lot of natural health and golfing and a variety of other things that Taboo offers. So join us as we celebrate this wonderful weekend in Taboo. So now Donna is going to work on my head, shoulders, and neck, and this massage is going to be very beneficial because I experience a lot of stress in my neck areas as it reaches down to my shoulder. So what do you think about that, Donna?
I think that sounds really perfect. Okay. And this is also everybody's favorite part because it feels so good. All the way up through the neck, and you'll get a lot of pain in the base of the neck.
Right.
And then they can refer pain up into the head and cause a lot of headaches, and that's where you get your tension headaches from. People that suffer from them will say, like, I feel it start in my shoulders, move up my neck and into my head. So doing this sort of massage, you go right up into the scalp, relieve those points that are referring pain into the head. And the scalp is all muscle as well, so it feels really good to have that massaged. I've been a massage therapist for 7 years. I trained in Alberta, in Calgary, at the Foothills College of Massage Therapy. And I've been working at Taboo for 2 summers. This is my 2nd season here in Gravenhurst.
Well, we're certainly in a beautiful environment here and very peaceful and relaxing too, right on in the Muskokas. We're just near the water here. And this is a 60-minute treatment. And what type of massage is it in terms of aromatherapy? Is it like a shiatsu?
No, it's a Swedish-based massage, utilizing oils and the movement on the skin, basically focusing on the muscles, superficial muscles of the body. Toxins that are trapped in tight muscles, they haven't had a good circulation getting to them. So with the massage, we've brought in, lots of fresh blood, fresh oxygen and nutrients, but we're also removing all those toxins that have been stored in that area. So you're feeling a little tension, but it's good because we're bringing in lots of really vital stuff for the muscles so that they can function normally again.
Right. Well, I have just received an amazing experience, a hot stone massage therapy at the wonderful Healing Hands of Dawn. And it's been a terrific experience, and this is something that can be done often.
This is something that can be done, once a week, twice a month, however much a person wants to indulge themselves here at Indulgence Spa.
And the hot stones against the body are not something that's uncomfortable. I mean, the person can decide their own heat levels and how they would like them applied, and the constant movement too really spreads out the heat as it gets into the deep muscles.
Absolutely, and that prevents, that allows us to work with greater heats, but because it's moving, it's not going to sit in one spot at a time, so the person's never going to get burnt during the treatment, but will still experience the full benefits of the heat.
Yes, I'm experiencing them. And I want to thank you, Don, for
It is good to start with, I guess, mini golf to get the interest there, but I recommend going to like a world-class practice facility like we have at Taboo here.
Right.
I think golfers rush out onto the golf course, one, not learning the etiquette of how to act,
Right.
And safety, you know, for themselves. So
safety protocols.
Yeah, protocol and etiquette, we call it, is the terminology we use in the golf industry, where they come to the driving range and they're working with a teaching professional. We can work there and give them the tools so that they can go onto the golf course. Then the novice golfer isn't, you know, hindering, or they're not worried about how they play, and they can move along and understand that, you know, you're not going to hit the perfect shot all the time.
Right.
We'd love to do that.
Sure.
I mean, if we do that, we'd be playing with Mike every weekend, and so that's where I think, you know, I recommend that the novice golfer go to the driving range, get some lessons, and get started in the right direction. You can't really set a specific type of equipment.
Okay.
I think you have to go to somebody who's knowledgeable about the game, like a golf professional, and ask them. They're almost like a doctor. We'll get to know you, know what your habits are. You know, I'm a corporate businessman that I'm always on the go, and I want something quick, and you know, it's a lot of motion. So you know, we might put you into something that's very firm and stiff and strong, so that you can use your, you know, whatever's built up inside you and not affect your golf game by this equipment adding to it. So
there's almost a science.
You being a right-handed golfer, we're going to take our left hand and we're going to place the golf club across our fingers of our left hand.
Okay.
And bring your hand over so that now you'll see a V form between your thumb and your finger.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
You want to make sure that your fingers are kept tight together, as you see right here. We don't want to let them space.
Like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that in turn, you'll see this V, which points to your right shoulder. So that's your first checkpoint. Okay. So you're going to get like that. We're going to place it, the baby finger, on top of those fingers on your top hand. So underneath, that's the correct.
Okay.
And then bring the next 3 fingers down onto the club. There you go.
Okay.
And then this thumb also forms a V. Shoulder width apart.
Shoulder width. Okay.
Knees are slightly flexed in an athletic position, and you're going to slightly bend from the hips. And that'll bring the golf club down to the golf ball.
So almost a crunching, but not quite.
Yeah, you don't want to squat.
That's right.
I kind of like to use, you know, you're at the golf course, you're relaxed, you want to have a nice cool drink, and you just rest against that bar stool.
Good idea.
While you're moving your hips,
Yes.
Try not to. Just keep them
Just the
still.
arms. That
Right,
does all the
exactly.
work. Okay.
Exactly.
So for putting, the arms do all the work.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And I'll line you up here to the hole, and we'll just turn so that we do face the hole.
Okay.
And all you're going to do through practice is learn to take it back 2/3 and follow through 1/3.
Back 2/3, fall through like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Hey!
And the novice golfers, they want to be aggressive. That little white ball, it's probably one of the easiest sports that people make the hardest.
Right.
If you take baseball or hockey, the object that they're trying to hit is moving. Well, in golf, it's stationary.
True.
And why, as golfers, do we make it so hard? So I think the novice golfer wants to get aggressive. They want to see that ball fly into the air, and it will happen. I think, you know, I always repeat myself over and over again. Let the golf club do the work. Let the golf club do the work. And I think if a novice golfer can keep that thought. Dynamic balance system, yes. We're the only ones in Canada to have this great tool for teaching. What it is, it's a balance system used by the astronauts in NASA to work with zero gravity and work on their balance when they're walking on the moon or wherever they are. And now we brought it to the golf world. And you'll see that when a golfer is off balance, their shots dictate where they go, and usually not in the right direction that they want.
Yes.
So this balance system helps analyze that so that I can then in turn work with the student and improve on their balance. So, and it gives them computer reports out that they can take away with them and analyze, and then come back and we can look at it in future lessons and then grow that way.
So something else that's important there you have here at Taboo, and it's called a program called Straw. Can you explain that to us?
Well, what it is it ties in the fitness part of golf. People now are, you know, as we talked briefly about being anxious to get onto the golf course. Well, Straw adds stretching to the game so that you can prepare your body to go out and be able to hit golf ball after golf ball after golf ball. And it's a program that we've brought on board, that works with basically a fitness person who works and stretches your body so that you're prepared to go out and practice, and we tie that in with our academy as well in the teaching side of things.
This is our main outdoor pool.
Okay.
This is one of 5 pools. We have 1 indoor pool, sauna and whirlpool,
Yeah.
and then we have 5 outdoor pools. This is the only one that has our kiddie pool. So this is also, in the summer, our patio bar serves light lunches, light fares, serves breakfast, open for our early golfers rising, and good coffee. And
Good
drinks.
coffee. I'm always a fan of good coffee.
Yeah.
And well, it's almost the highlight of summer, so we're going to get some people swimming out here soon.
Finally.
Yeah.
Warm sunshine.
And I see in the distance here you've got some other boats and canoes and things like
We
that.
have kayaks, canoes, paddle boats, and then we have our motorized water sports as well, which is our boats, water skiing, tubing.
That's always fun for the kids.
Yes, they love it.
That's great.
This is our marina. It has 79 slips. Majority of our float planes that come along that long dock, that dock there. We've got an excellent airway and landing area for float planes because of the flat land, flat lake, and lots of takeoff rooms. So we actually get quite a few visitors come by air to Taboo. This came into place roughly about 2 years ago. So until then, we just had about maybe 5-6 slips in total. So we were really proud of this when we did. Everything was custom built in here, including the long table. Everything in this room seats 20 seats. This is a recessed 50-inch plasma screen, so everything can be done in here. And this is what we designed this for, was executive corporate meetings. Their sound system is all controlled separately from the dining room, same as their heating and their cooling units, so that everything can be done in here, eating, and then the business portion of it. So.
That's great. I'm standing on the dock here at the wonderful Taboo grounds, and with me is David Hawk. How are you today, David?
Doing good, Randy. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you, and nice to see this beautiful boat here too. So what are we going to experience this afternoon?
What I want to do today is take you out and show you kind of the natural side of Lake Muskoka. The highlight will be a bird nesting sanctuary where we have great blue heron and gull and other birds nesting on this island. And as well, we'll look at some of the real estate as we go by and some of the natural landforms as well.
Now, I was told that you were really an expert around here about all that goes on in terms of knowing all the Muskokas. So what's your background?
My background is I've been in the resort industry now about 6 years, but all my life I've lived and worked in the Muskoka region. So going back generations when my families came here to settle. So growing up in this area and being interested in nature, I've been tracking when the flowers come into bloom, when the birds migrate through. So we'll be talking about those natural aspects of Muskoka as we go along.
Well, that sounds very interesting, and we're in good hands, so we're going to climb on board the ship, or the boat, and we're going to have a nice trip around the Muskokas with Dave.
Okay, welcome aboard. Underway, just off to our left, you see the bridge over the Hawk Rock River. And the Hawk Rock River is one of the ones that does feed into Lake Muskoka. And it carries a lot of sand and sediment with it in the spring. And as that sand gets washed into the lake, it settles out, it eddies out to the side, and that's providing us with our beach here. In years past, we were called Muskoka Sands Resort, and that sand was what made up our beach. So it's rather a natural phenomena have this much sand naturally deposited, making this absolutely gorgeous swimming area. The public beach for Gravenhurst just on the other side of the river. So that's called the Hawk Rock River, and it connects from Gull Lake and flows into Lake Muskoka. In this boat here, we can take 13 people plus the pilot, so a total of 14. So it's nice and cozy for small groups, and we can get, as I say, a medium-sized group to come out here as well. The tours go anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on where they want to go, what they want to see. Sometimes they just want to float around, other times they want to see the whole lake. Go by these islands, you see most of the tree cover are white pine trees. And white pine are the tree symbol for Ontario, just as the white trillium is our wildflower. And the white pine here, just about every one of the really good ones were all cut down back in around 1830 to about 1880. That was the big boom time for the lumber industry. They were taking all these huge, beautiful big trees out of here. Development, settlement was happening. What happened was they only left the scraggly ones. And they're the ones genetically that produce the seeds. So a lot of the pine trees now, although they look quite artistic, from a forestry point of view, are kind of a secondary tree. They don't really like them because they don't grow those beautiful arrow straight trunks, because that genetic stock, the good stock, have been all removed, totally removed, and leaving just the scraggly trees behind.
Or the maybe missing branches.
We're going to see where they're nesting in just a moment as we get out to Elmer Island. Two little feathers curl up and stick up in the air, and hence the name of double-crested cormorant. Yeah, the cormorants up in the trees around their nest. Yeah. And the gulls here, they're ground nesters, so every nook and
things about visiting a place like Taboo is you never know who you'll run into here, including celebrities. And I have with me JT Schrammick and Carrie Gage, they're both actors. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome, Eddie.
Thank you. Nice to have you both here. And tell us, what are you working on lately, Carrie?
Currently I'm working on a show called World Goes Around, which is at Drayton. It will be all summer long between Drayton Festival and Huron Country Playhouse. And it's a 5-hander, it's a Canner and Ebb, gorgeous review.
That's great. How about you, JT?
I'm working on a cartoon series. It's a Japanimation series that's coming over. We're doing the English dub over for that show, and then Carrie and I are off to Charlottetown Festival for the summer.
That's great. PEI, that's a wonderful place to be.
Yeah.
And you just finished wrapping up something, wasn't it?
Yep, I just finished Bat Boy the musical in downtown Toronto.
That's great. You're both very busy.
Very.
Very busy.
And what brings you here? Are you just visiting, or have you been here before?
Well, we were up north. My mother was getting married, so we were at another resort, and we thought, well, we were down in the neighborhood, we'd stop by Taboo. A lot of our friends have events here, and we were considering maybe for some of our future events.
That's a nice idea. And you never know who you run into, like I said before, at Taboo. It's a wonderful grounds, beautiful environment, and it's nice to see old friends.
Sure is.
Well, Christine, we've had an amazing time here at Taboo this weekend. We want to thank you for inviting us here to do the show.
Oh, welcome. I'm so glad you could come and enjoy our property. See it firsthand and experience it.
Yes, and you've introduced us to a lot of new things that are going on here at Taboo, and some of the development and some new activities for everybody, the whole family, corporate business, the wonderful spa, the restaurants, and the staff here are just fantastic. So thanks again.